Mr. Lynch, lives only be alive forever. Good morning, Mr. Maso simply. Mr. Maso simply. Or simply, 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 or simply the Lynch. It's November, December 16. Listen to the fans to the neighbors today at totally cloudy. Yes, after 4 consecutive days with beautiful blue skies and when sunshine. Now today it's totally cloudy and it's also misty. And now, yes, it's early afternoon, 13 and 50. 59 Fahrenheit, 15 Celsius, let's say standard these days, 57 Fahrenheit, 15 Celsius, 59 Celsius, yes, as days, and this means that it's that they really soft, like this is video fact soft classic agit to use for uto to swing experience starboard for years ago, as we consider effect the channel last June 17 for years effect really overcome 4 years with the words as regard the last past summer, as someone followed me, remember the past summer, I think, body, effect that I passed also overcome 4 years with the reports as regard the auto, in fact now also for the auto, considering effect also we enter in autumn many so now in fact also the autumn now for the weather reports but obviously not for the season so the winter and spring is not in this case 3 years finish practically in a few days in 5 days we'll enter in the winter so for the winter we will become 4 years weather reports so someone more remember think about it which I suppose indeed I'm sure to I see the remember things for them associate sometimes my proposal fact activation to which I aspetta una web paradox per me la via due sono l'intero duration so for the winter spring exam se for winter so adjective cold for spring once again adjective soft for summer adjective hot sono state in general for the season so bisa classic adjective as regards the degree sa triste me o sa fingo sia fino da absolutely and compliment sure in fornisi video con two reasons first one consistent passage from some to you second one most important last definitive change of temporal because append many sequence which now the eye completely changed it's completely pleasant if not pleasant should really good and the eye meaning same temporal degrees so the sum of these things make the condition situation not completely pleasant repeat really good at result is for me so I don't feel cool like other people but when it comes to winter I can better thing because I really experience this thing in winter with reports of the past years. And in fact also for il common this winter che sperimente this thing su non for the più for lite finco yes for lite finco not for feel cold for lite finco yes non dispenso o ever in general for me un secondo mi stia da molto scatto su stazione già due assoluti che in sei se mi dicono già ti foro di questo really bad artistism for can be feeling some machine so this Ingrid after finché temperatura si ripete si for 59 Fahrenheit 15 Celsius at l'importante in questa atmosfera sta senza ci vedi sto filo di divisa una cortina, infatti non sono avute qualsiasi dare una sua cortina e una delle cortine in genere se una sembra ripetere mi scioglie most perfect triste suppose fa come potete stand repeat resist totally what cloudy sky I don't believe but today is ovviamente the sky so I considering trend of last days with 3-4 days with beautiful skies with sunshine if as seen in the afternoon of yesterday many of the society in the afternoon of yesterday it was going to a cloud atmosphere and so consider according to what I read consider my sensations it's I'm not so sure that later it became darker and bleaker this point and also that my train in front of a few moments rain for later I think we're close we see what happens let's see what happens but as always no bisogna intelligence wizards once we see if the clients comes to the here band So cities from Southern window, Southern mythical window, Southern curtain, what's what Southern other person is this is the third curtain, and the only difference is the curtain is for the curtain is the color of the flowers, the fact the color of the second pair was yellow, gold color, the first one was pink, the color of this third curtain is not pink like the first is similar. I don't know if you can read notice it whatever is certain on me, I think yes. Or if not from this other particular is the first part of the video which very usual I show to you the sky the weather the sky sia in general from the window. Lato weather, as also in the room, so the window, the new white curtain, the green flowers, longer flowers mixed between the plants, this is the curtain. It's the last one. It was Mangarting also birthday of the previous, in particular, this year was the third birthday. The previous beautiful green curtain, beautiful painted green benches, but to deepen and to this meter, this passage from the previous to the new curtain, and that things leading, see one of my comment section, and we should be the fourth or perhaps point two or third in the first comment. I know if you can read it, I see from the shot, practically the same shot showed you for this first curtain just before the first part of the video through which Veruccia showed you the sky, the weather, the sky to see in general from the window. At also for this pratically it's a shot similar to classic shot film more interesting for the curtain. Perhaps also for the first curtain color of the curtain, if I don't remember exactly, usually color of the curtain is seen cover image of the channel, but as long as one day I should change it, and so this shot also really this fact above one reason the green shoot and also one reason, but tomorrow there is if imagine also the picture sentence reduce sono case for the curtain, ma sono case for the first curtain color, even if sono case I don't remember rimette sì sono case 3 times surely for the curtain now I see this picture sentence for this new curtain this little picture sentence it is but also always better visible for me it's sentire in this shot at this point me genius shot. Regarding the shooter in activism, if not mistaken, activism is the first days of it last October, if I don't remember exactly. Vabbè, general activism also today, and also in case I see related to the special center for the ultimate, so valid, so free, so with one saying, but also always better visible for me, it's entirety, in this shot, at the point of general shot. And finally, from a mythical keyboard and GX 640 PG 625 also music is on the general shot. Questi molto people for the parts is getting good work. So no problem sister. For myself, also biscuit. And finally, I hope you like the breakfast. So it's late in general. Also mass, crazy late from us, but one part is that it's very fun drag reaction. Sembra stretto stare in fare breakfast. Fiantene è migliore. C'è stato vita. Fiantene parte uso yes. Finché tre regole secole sembrano stesso straccio. Ma tu ripeti. Ma tu dici cosa si carica con le tue from us. There is just roll your obviously just tranquillo. 50 minutes. Hatta, l'important thing to show the cinema set in some way also the important sono Emilian and as we always say Ekkefa is one of the most built things of the world. Absolutely. It's many months I think it should be almost 1 year. I was sullo sto conti, sì, il peccato di on Friday, but this should be time to be. Prima si do at one time, so any time check better you. But it's detto that just as we started to see these things. For starting shots, obviously, it's a joke because I talking about most 1 year, but some also new shots from the biscuits are my favorite. In fact, there are many beautiful combos with beautiful biscuits. I think I don't know, it's not the best kind of types of biscuits. Chocolate chip cookies, or the cookies with the chips chocolate. Chocolate chips. Sono ottimi stili, questo fa tutti piccoli, mi dice. In particolare, la tuning fa l'illusione della this first one, but milk factory shot only gets the coffee, but also quick chocolate, in fact, sono entrato in shot fragmenti, cioè shot nel I think 5-6 months, so si che lo so, sto should be sent period, so in damage per there was no more script, if you finish it, nowadays, once you brought it, once again, I think 130, 31, 32 days, so che lo sto should be sent period, so in damage per there and so, since that amount of today, about to insert it, once again, in milk, so, very good news. Zeus reflecca Nico de Beck fa stessa questa bomba se la spina in particolare a me bomba nei se che si la spina il gioco più reto che Mossonia su of course I'm referring to first time so that period and if it's a member sono che si toll Nicolas Beck fa stessa questa mega bomba e se continua a fare si è in Ferrari si è la cona dei Terence mi sa se copiato position mi cosa attraverso peso position formidare bamba Italian Serials fa questo ma tu come da Mario because they are really super bad. Sì, tomorrow is supposed to be fun today. If I come to tomorrow, totally leper. Now, well, see.